Hello, people. This is Socrates Son. Recently, I had a debate with a very good guy, uh, um Brother Dawah, a Muslim apologist and professional philosopher. Although we had a very nice impromptu debate about morality, he then went to tweet this. Yes, there is, he says. You weren't able to distinguish between objective and absolute. Neither were able to form a syllogistic argument, yet you want to teach Muslims. Also, you are bad at memes. And 20 people liked this nonsense, this statement he just made. So, Brother Dawah took the path of Jake the Muslim metaphysician and decided to slander me for a debate or for a point I clearly won. So today we will answer the question, who understands better the difference between objective and absolute? Brother Dawah, William Lane Craig, or Socrates Son? This is the question we will attempt to answer today. Let's go. The reasons they struggle to accept secular morality is because they think it lacks objectivity, and they think that it lacks moral agency or moral weight. Isn't that right? That is the main reasons you object to secular morality. Isn't that right?
It's more it has to do with not having any objective morality at all. Period.
Exactly. Yes. So the objectivity. So uh, that is the one is the objectivity, and the other is that moral urgency and moral weight. But let's go to the objectivity. Here I notice a confusion between objective with absolute. For something to be objective, it just needs to be qualified. It doesn't need to be an absolute. So this is what confuses theists and think that you necessarily need God for objectivity, when in fact any moral theory can be objective as long as you qualify. To give compare that with a fixed point of reference. I say, I know it sounds confusing, but I can give an example to try to communicate that. The devil thinks murder is good. Okay, that sounds subjective. Now, if I qualify this statement and I say, according to the devil, murder is good, now this statement became objectively true. Because now I fix the reference and I say, according to the devil, murder is good. So my question to you, sir, and I know these things might sound initially confusing, so you can ask me to repeat what I'm saying many times and to be more precise and to qualify what I'm saying. So my question to you, sir, is the statement, according to the devil, murder is good. Is this statement objectively true? What I was trying to say is the devil thinks murder is good is a subjective statement. But if I qualify this statement, it becomes objective. The statement, according to the devil, murder is good, is an objective statement.
Okay. So you're misunderstanding a few terminologies here. So there are two ways that the word objective can be used, right? There are two ways that the word objective can be used. Uh, for example, I say science is objective, right? These conclusions of science are objective truths. Okay, so science is an objective way of study. The conclusions of science are objectively true. The way that I'm using the term objective here are completely different in both cases. One is I'm saying that the method of science is objective, meaning that it's empirical. The way that they are testing, they're trying to verify, the methods themselves are empirical, they're objective, they are part of reality. Now the conclusion itself, due to it being inductive, right, cannot be objectively true.
Brother Dawah here being confused, although initially said that science is objective, which is true, he then says the conclusions of science, because they are inductive, they are not objectively true, which is wrong. First of all, let's see what is inductive. Inductive reasoning is a bottom-up approach, while deductive reasoning is a top-down approach. Brother Dawah implies that because science is a bottom-up approach, it cannot be objective, which is wrong. Exactly as I predicted, he confuses objective with absolute. He names absolute things objective. So, science can be objective, and the conclusions of science can be objective. They are not absolute. Brother Dawah, you are confused, my friend. Okay, please go on.
So there are completely different ways that I'm using the word objective. When I say the method itself, the experimentation itself is objective, and when I say that the conclusion itself is objectively true, there are two different things.
Yes, the difference is that you confuse objective with absolute, as I said. Science is objective because it investigates reality, the physical world, objectively. It takes a measurement, a physical measurement, and compares things contrast to this physical measurement. Science is not absolutely true. Okay, that is the difference you fail to understand. You name absolute things objective.
So objective can be reliable. The way that I'm saying that objective, the experiment itself is objective, meaning that the person is reliable, that the person who is trying to do the experiment is not trying to cheat. The person using the tools and the measurements, they're reliable tools and measurements. So these are objective. This is one way of using it, right? Or you can say it can be synonymous to being accurate, or synonymous to being reliable, okay, or trustworthy. So and you can look this up in the dictionary. You can find this is the more general way of using the word objective. But when we say it is objectively true, now this is where you're getting confused.
No, in fact, Brother Dawah, you are getting confused, as we will very clearly see in this video. Okay, I'm not getting confused. You are the confused one.
When we say objectively true, we mean something as a part of reality. So when we say morality is objectively true, right, or it is an objective fact, or it is objective, when you talk about morality, you're talking about meta-ethics. You're talking about, is morality really something that is out there, not subjective? Dr. Craig, in his article, you can see it on his.
Then he quotes me, Dr. William Lane Craig. And just because he said that, somehow I should be impressed. I defeat William Lane Craig's arguments for fun every day. So that is as a caveat. Please continue.
When we say objectively true, we mean something as a part of reality. So when we say morality is objectively true, right, or it is an objective fact, or it is objective, when you talk about morality, you're talking about meta-ethics. You're talking about, is morality really something that is out there, not subjective? Dr. Craig, in his article, you can see it on his website, he explains this pretty well. He says that when you're talking about morality, when you say objective morality, okay, objective morality is the opposite of subjective morality, okay, whereas absolute morality is the opposite of relative morality.
Objective morality, he says, is the opposite of subjective morality. Absolute is the morality is the opposite of relative morality. And yet that is exactly what I am saying. Okay. I say, what is the difference of objective to absolute? Objective is something related to a fixed point of reference. Therefore, it's not subjective because it takes its subjectivity from a fixed point of reference. Absolute morality, I say, is the reference by its own merit. In other words, it's not relative. Okay, that is exactly what I'm saying. So where is the problem?
So objective morality is the opposite of subjective morality. Now, what is subjective morality? Subjective morality is something that is my opinion, something that is hypothetical, Something that is assumptive is assumptions, it is based on assumptions, the conclusion is based on assumption. That would be something like secularism, liberalism, so on and so forth. Now, something that is objective would be something like 2 plus 2 is equals to 4, okay, or the sky is blue, or something like that. It would be subjective rather than it being it would be objective and not subjective, because 2 plus 2 is 4. It is just a fact of reality. It's just a matter of reality, rather than for example, I say I like ice cream, or ice cream is the best flavor, or vanilla ice cream is the best kind of ice cream. This is subjective.
I like vanilla ice cream is subjective. And you and Dr. Craig imply that this is the case because of some ontological reason related to God. I, Socrates Son, being a better philosopher than you and Dr. Craig, will respond. Okay, if that is the case, why, if I qualify this statement, it becomes objective? According to me, vanilla ice cream is the best flavor, now is an objective statement. Did God change? No, God stayed the same. What actually changed is I qualified this statement. Thank you very much. Okay, let's continue. But before we do that, let's all acknowledge that I am the best philosopher in the world. I eat people like Dr. Craig for breakfast. Okay. This guy said Dr. Craig, and I should be, I don't know, impressed. Let's continue.
Right, this is not a reality based fact. But when I say, now the question is, when I say incest is wrong, is it like me saying that vanilla is the best flavor, or is it like me saying 2 plus 2 is 4? If it is like me saying 2 plus 2 is 4, then it is objective, meaning it is a part of reality. But if I'm saying when it is murder is wrong, or raping a child is wrong, or incest is wrong, this is, and if I say it is subjective, it is basically like me saying I like vanilla ice cream, or vanilla ice cream is the best kind of flavor. So you can see how different and weird these two things can become. And it really is also applicable to reality. So
Yeah.
this is what we're getting confused with here. So go ahead.
Yes. Sorry about that. Yes, you're right about that. But okay, so if I say that that is morally wrong because that is against human well-being, let's say, okay, is this an opinion? Is it subjective like an opinion?
Depends why you're saying it.
For example, okay, so your objection is against subjective, meaning an opinion. In other words, according to I have one opinion, the other person might have another opinion. In other times in history, they had another view about morality. But if morality is related to well-being, and well-being is not an opinion, we have a general standard of well-being related to the human condition in this world, to the human state of this world, then I might make objective statements about morality when I relate that to human well-being, which is a constant. Is okay. So if human well-being it is a constant, I can objectively say that something is morally wrong and not being an opinion, because now I fix my, as I said earlier, now I qualify my statement and I say related to human well-being. But what I'm trying to communicate is that it's not really about objectivity, it's about true definitions. Let's say tomorrow I make the cult of Socrates Son. Anyway, okay, so let's take this example. And I say, according to the cult of Socrates Son, murder is good. Is this objective? Yes, it is. Because according to my morality, I just invented, murder is good. But is this true morality? Is the real question, my friend. Okay. This is the real question, my dear friend. I'm so arrogant, eh? No, but what I'm saying is true. Okay, please answer this. hypothetical question. So what we need to do is not objectivity. In fact, is a red herring. It's not about objectivity. It's about true definitions of morality. So if your objection against secular morality is because it cannot be objective, that's not true. Secular morality can be objective if we relate our judgment to a fixed point of reference, let's say, to a constant, and that constant is human well-being. So what I'm trying to say is that your objection about secular morality not being objective, that doesn't work.
Yeah, that works. That completely works because you gave me the best example where I can refute it. So it has a point of reference, right? You're making it. You're basically doing the is-ought fallacy, which David Hume pointed out with Kant's theory and even Aristotle's theory of Nicomachean ethics, right? So you're
The is-ought fallacy is related to absolute morality or to true morality, not to objective morality. Okay, so again, it's exactly as I said. In other words, it's not about objectivity, it's about true definitions. So, me, Socrates Son, defeated you, Brother Dawah, and William Lane Craig. Atheism defeated Christianity and Islam in this case. Me representing atheism. Okay, so the objection or the proposition that atheism cannot account for objective values and duties is dead. Okay, I just put the gravestone in this argument. It was a good run. William Lane Craig was happy for a couple of years, but now it's over. Thank you very much.